I think I said ages ago that when I focus on money, money doesn't happen. So when I focus on creativity, money happens. But if I focus too much on creativity, then creativity doesn't happen. So then I have to just focus on mucking up and fooling around and seeming like I'm wasting life. And then creativity happens, which then makes the money happen to pay my bills. And so for the last 2 months of promoting these books, like it's put me into focusing on money and like watching the book bounce up and around the charts. And that's put me in this like relentless kind of a fear mode. And that's the opposite of creating art. So I've been creating art on the side or writing stuff. It's not very good. And normally I'd be sharing it just to go, oh, here's some new stuff. But I haven't been. And that's part of myself has felt suffocated for it. It sounds very dramatic, but so I've been just keeping the pilot light on, writing a sentence a day, and I started just dedicating more time to it. Going, okay, the book's been out 2 or 3 weeks now. I'm relentlessly posting pages from the 2 books, and I feel like I'm in my old jobs, like a factory or corporate. I feel like I've turned my 2 books into a bit of a machine process of making sure I'm posting this old good stuff over and over again, and not really honouring people who have been following me for a while. So I've started feeling like the things are easing up a bit. Like I've got to let the book do its own thing. I can't relentlessly market it. I can post something every now and again, but I've also got to let the book do a bit of the heavy lifting after pushing it pretty hard. Well, for me, I'd consider it pretty hard. I've seen other people who write books on the poetry charts. They post it every single day, relentlessly, maybe sometimes twice a day. I'm like, oh my God, no wonder your book's doing really well. But part of me feels like that's not the spirit of Mum's book. To be real, even though I shouldn't even be thinking about it like that. I should just go bugger it, just post it as much as I can. But I haven't. I sort of haven't been. I've sort of ran out of marketing energy, and so I'm writing again. Instead of, like as I said earlier, instead of focusing on the money, you just focus back on when I say money, but that incorporates marketing a book and posting pages from the book and making sure that it's visible and out there every day. And I've sort of pulled back in the last week, and I can see how that immediately translates to lower Amazon rankings. Amazon's the only place where I can visually see how sales are going. I can't see how they're doing in independent bookstores or other places or other markets around the world. It's really just the US Amazon where it shows this is how much it's selling a day, roughly. Yeah, so I've been going back to just writing and really just enjoying working on a few pieces that are a little bit longer, a little bit more rambly, going back to how I was a few months ago, and I feel like this relief when I stop focusing on counting the ranking of the book and counting how well it's selling, or if it's done a reprint, which it has. It's done a reprint. The publisher told me they've reprinted it, which is really good. A small reprint. I guess publishers in a way are like professional gamblers, so they mitigate a lot of stuff. But that's good. That's good to know. And so it's this endless battle of going, okay, but back to just creating stuff again. That's what makes me feel good, not monitoring numbers and positions of numbers and accumulation and deterioration of numbers. My brain and my heart hurts when I'm doing that all the time, but it's addictive. Numbers are really addictive. So are words in their own strange way. But I'm going back to writing again and making new stuff, and just sort of putting it out there in little bits and pieces. Not all of it's good. As I know, 90% of what I write is actually crap. It's just the way it is. But yeah, just slowly piecing together what a third book might be, and sort of keeping myself open to ideas that maybe these two books might lead me into a new adventure, as I talked about last time. But yeah, just heading back into creativity land and writing land and seeing where all that stuff leads. And I think I might have written one of my favourite pieces that is like, damn, as soon as I finished with a book, all this new stuff starts happening. I always notice that as soon as you close and finish and press go on a book, that's when new doors open up, and all of a sudden some sort of god of creativity comes down and go, here's a great piece that you would wished you could have included, but too bad it's come now because you've put that last one behind you. So yeah, you have to move on. You have to move on to let the new stuff come in, and yeah, that new stuff is just starting to arrive, and it's fun, and I feel slightly sane again after weeks of checking the book rankings. Yeah, it was making me a bit insane watching them go up and down, and seeing how if I posted a new post about the books, it would go up again, and then it would go down again, and then I was going, I'm going to really annoy my audience reposting all this old stuff like constantly. What I always also find is when I put a book out into the world, there's a greedy part of me that goes, okay, what can this book give me now? What sort of money is it going to give me to pay my bills and make life a bit easier for me? And I often forget what a gift it is for other people, because part of me thinks, they're all right books, but then I remember how other people's books massively helped me. They were like my little Bibles back in my 30s. I didn't care that I paid spent hundreds of dollars on some of these people's books. It was like they were priceless, and so I forget the flip side, like flipping the chessboard around and going, hang on a tick, what I'm giving to people is likely more than what I'm receiving. Like the good heart energy in a book, you can't calculate it in money terms. It sounds like a cliche, but it's kind of true. It is, because it is true. It's a cliche. But yeah, I have to constantly remind myself, no, the books I've written are great. They bring something that's beyond money and beyond all that sort of shit. But yeah, like that greedy part of me does keep kicking in and going, I've done this. Now give me my lollipop. And it's like, no, no, Darby, you're full. But yeah, I can't help it. I'm just a dumb human. I guess I could think of a book like this. Yeah, a $5 is freshly minted. It goes out into the world. Someone spends it, and it's made $5 worth of something. Then someone spends that same $5 again, and it's made $10. Then again and again, and that $5 is spent hundreds of thousands of times, and it's this old tattered beautiful thing, and that $5 has been spent until it's like maybe $100,000 of that same $5 note. And I kind of feel like maybe a book is kind of like that. The longer it's out, it makes heart money. The longer it's out. Not to turn it into a money kind of thing, but maybe that's an interesting kind of weird metaphor for it. I don't know. Yeah, planting a book. It feels like, you've got the seed out, and it's quietly doing its thing. That to me is a kind of a magic, that I'm just walking around the day, and I'm wondering how it's going. There's no metrics to be able to measure how a book makes anyone feel, or how word of mouth goes. I love how the oldest, most beautiful thing in the world is word of mouth, and that can't be measured. And it's the most beautiful stuff that can't be measured. Like or caught somehow. It always comes back to the heart, and that can't be measured, or unless you just try and do high blood pressure or something, which is apparently what I've got.